my buddy from back in the day here in the state of Michigan, from the campus of the University of Michigan, now from ESPN by way of NFL Network, where we used to work together, Adam Schefter. Good to see you, brother.
Rich, it is always an honor to be with you.
Come on, man.
Great to be with you in the state of Michigan, in particular, giving you the Michigan student ID card that you had as a freshman in Ann Arbor as a little gift to see you here in person for your big draft week.
Well, as you know, and you guys may not know, I called Adam last week, and I'm like, you know, if you can, if your schedule allows, or you're free, or because you're probably on 15 family of networks on ESPN, I want you as my first guest, because honestly, if we were sitting at the Michigan Daily Sports, you know, area of the Cove and the old Michigan Daily, and I would turn to you and say, I'm going to be so fortunate to have a show of my own with my own name on it in Michigan at the NFL Draft, and you are going to be the man in your own right, in your own world, in your own way, and we're going to be able to do it together. We would have been like, okay, where do we sign for that? Like, damn straight, you know?
If you had presented this scenario to us in the mid to late 1980s, we wouldn't have believed it.
Correct.
It would have been beyond anything we could have imagined. And when people say, you know, are you doing what you imagine? No, this is beyond what, and I'll speak for you, beyond what we could have imagined.
No
right? Like,
question. No doubt.
Coming from Staten Island, you didn't think that you were doing the Draft 2024 show on Roku, to host the draft on NFL Network.
Damn straight.
You didn't think that was going to be happening.
I would have certainly, since I didn't. What's streaming? What does that mean? I don't understand about streaming. What is the internet? I mean, seriously. And you know, you growing up on Long Island, you'd probably think the same damn thing. And so, it's pretty cool, man.
I used to stay home from school. The draft used to be during the week.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it might have been like Tuesday and Wednesday. And I would stay home and watch the draft. I would feign to be sick so I could watch that. And, you know, you think about it, they would do it in a hotel room in New York City. Yeah. Then it moved to Madison Square Garden. Then it moved to Radio City Music Hall. Then, thanks to the Rockettes, the NFL took the show on the road. And here we are in Detroit. And it seems to get bigger and bigger every year, and it's just out of control.
And I kind of feel like it's like, by the way, you got your phone on your leg right now, right? And are you getting draft information? Literally, what's happening? Is that what's happening right now? Well, you don't have to say what it is, but I mean,
you just want to make sure that nothing is particular going down.
Okay, I understand. But and during the commercial break, after I just delivered my only mock draft, I do feel like I'm back in the day at the University of Michigan, where you were checking my work,
editing
and editing me, pretty much.
This is very good. This is very good. Not so much there
at the Michigan Daily. Do you want to run through what you think of my?
Well,
mock draft?
I think your mock draft is excellent by and large.
Thank
Rich.
you.
I think I would give it an A.
Oh, you would?
I would give it an A.
All right.
I would give it an A. Now we'll see whether it actually turns out to be an A when push comes to shove. But
what do you think?
Caleb Williams 1, Jaden Daniels 2.
Yeah.
We're putting up on the board, Drake May 3, I could see that. 4, I think 1 through 4, spot on. Now, are the Vikings going up to 5? I think that's a prime trading spot. I think the Chargers would love to trade out.
Certainly, if the first 4 are like that, right? I mean, if somebody jumps, if the Cardinals trade out and gets J.J. McCarthy, and somebody jumps and gets J.J. McCarthy there, and they have Marvin Harrison Jr. at 5, I think they stick and pick him. Would you agree with that?
I think that. Again, I think the first 4 are pretty chalky right now.
Okay.
Pretty chalky. But the whole thing is, right now, to me, what's going to happen at 3? Because I think New England will wind up staying, but they've gotten calls from the Vikings, and they've gotten calls from the Giants, and everybody's saying New England's staying, and that's fine. But what happens? What happens when we get on the clock and New England's there and the Giants or the Vikings say, we've got 10 minutes to go get the quarterback we want? Like, what's going to happen then?
And
because nobody really is showing their full hand. So to me, you've got Drake May going to the Patriots, and that is perfectly plausible. I could totally see it. But I want to see what happens when New England comes on the clock.
Right.
And I want to see the phones in the room. I want to see who's calling in and what's going to happen. Who's going to step up? Who is stepping up tomorrow night? What time does the draft start? 7 o'clock?
Starts at 8 Eastern time.
8 Eastern.
Yeah.
So we're talking about...
I think. I think so.
8 Eastern.
8 Eastern?
Yeah.
So at about...
I should know.
You both should know.
Here's the thing. I'm going there at 2 o'clock. I'm there all day. I don't care less.
His
when
phone's
actually
buzzing.
So at about 8:18, 8:19,
yeah,
the first moment of truth has arrived.
And so the question is, what it would take? It would take
a lot,
right?
A lot.
Well, certainly more for Minnesota. It would be both first this year and one.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Minnesota, in my mind, is more desperate to get up there. Minnesota has more ammunition to get up there. Mm-hmm. But the Giants are within striking range of getting up there. So what, in the end, is more valuable? The more desperate team with more ammunition, or the team that's at 6 to where the Patriots could go from 3 to 6 and still get the quarterback that they want if they're not leapfrogged at 4 or 5.
For J.J. McCarthy, you think?
Or maybe J.J. McCarthy goes 3. Oh. Or maybe J.J. McCarthy goes 3. Or maybe.
Whoa.
Or maybe.
He's doing the Windhorse. He's doing the Windhorse.
No, excuse me. Windhorse was doing the Schefter. All right.
Just saying.
All right.
Windhorse
was hanging with LeBron fresh out of high school when Schefter was doing the Schefter.
It just depends.
Okay?
But here's the thing. I think that if Minnesota comes up there, I think it's Drake May, and I think if Minnesota comes up there, I think it's Drake May. I think if New England stays, it's a question. And I think, like, I don't know ultimately.
You're saying New England would take stick and pick and take J.J. McCarthy?
I'll say this to you. Yes. I'm not saying that.
Of course.
I'm saying that J.J. McCarthy does have support in that building. He has support in that building. Now, how that turns out.
My son Cooper, who is a Michigan New England Patriot fan, would lose his mind. What do you got?
Oh, my God.
You really have to take this?
Hold on a second. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, I'm just on here. Can I call you when I get...
This is tremendous.
He's taking a phone call on the air.
But I just hit that bet.
Well, you're off in 5 minutes, Adam.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Is that fine?
Yeah, it's all good. My point to you...
Was that a GM?
My point to you...
It was.
He rolled his eyes.
It was.
No, he won't say it. Don't put him in that position. How dare you?
My point to you is that J.J. McCarthy does have some support at 3. Now, I'm not telling you he's the pick.
Yes.
But that's a choice that New England has to make, and I think New England likes a few different quarterbacks there.
Okay.
Minnesota, if it's coming up, they'll move. I get the sense it would be for Drake. That's my sense.
Okay.
Could be wrong.
Sure. And
the Giants are sitting there, and probably Drake, but I don't know. They've done. Let me say this.
Yes.
They've done a lot of work with J.J. McCarthy. Private workout in Ann Arbor, dinner in New York, dinner on Easter, like a lot of work in time with J.J. McCarthy, who we know is a special guy.
J.J.'s got heat right now is what you're saying.
Well, it just depends how it goes down. One day, and I'll say this to you, one day it feels like, boy, J.J.'s going up there. And then you say, well, maybe not as high. Maybe he's going to slide back to maybe 11.
Yeah.
And then you hear some things, you're like, I don't know that he's going to slide. So here's the deal. He's going to go somewhere between, and it's not anything all that great, 3 and 11, but it could be 3.
How long do you think Penix's night is going to be Thursday night? What's your best
Here's
guess
the issue.
there, Adam?
Here's the issue, Rich.
Yes,
okay? Remember this tomorrow night.
Okay.
We got quarterback needy teams or teams with quarterback questions at 1, 2, 3, 6, 11, 12, 13. There are 7 in the first 13 that have some type of significant quarterback question.
Yes.
That doesn't include any other team later on in the draft that has its own quarterback question or has a particular liking with a certain quarterback. That, again, when the Chiefs traded up in 2017, did anybody mention the Chiefs as a potential trade-up candidate in 2017? No, they ambushed everybody. So we've got what we know are 7 teams with quarterback questions in the first 13 picks. I could give you a few more teams behind them. The Rams, the Seahawks, the Cowboys, that have their own quarterback questions, not to mention any others that are out there. There aren't enough quarterbacks to go around. There just aren't. So even if you're not as good, even if your grade is not as high, the chances are you're going to get elevated. And because of the need, the demand exceeds the supply. So based on that, I'm going to say we get 6 in the first round, including Michael Penix.
Okay, and obviously that's Bo Nix as well. And I've got 3 minutes left with you here, so I want to use the real estate with what you just said. Rams, obviously, we know Matthew Stafford. He's in nearing his mid-30s right now. We also hear, about Seattle with Geno Smith. You included Dallas as potentially looking at it as a quarterback.
I don't see it in the first round. I don't see it in the first round, but Dak is in the last year of his deal. They can't tag him.
Right.
Dak controls whether he's staying or going, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Okay.
I mean, there's just a lot of teams with quarterback questions.
No, but I mean, the Cowboys at some point are going to have to. I mean, you heard what Jerry Jones said yesterday in his press conference, said that he's like an option quarterback. He just doesn't know when he's going to pitch the ball to re-sign one of his guys, Dak and CeeDee Lamb
But they haven't even
Micah.
had any meaningful discussions with Dak about a deal. So, like, to get a deal done, you got to have some actual discussions.
He said he was working on it. No, that's not your reporting on that right now?
I don't think they're particularly close to a deal, Rich.
Ooh. Oh, no.
Right.
For Dak. For Dak.
Right.
And I think, look, they know they want to try to get all these guys done at some point.
Right.
But CD and Micah would come, I think, right now before Dak.
Okay. So how many texts did you receive during our 15-minute conversation? What's the grand total, do you think? Right here, Adam.
Well, you could look.
Okay.
10.
11. He received 11. Okay, there you go. See, you should have taken the over. Adam, I know you got to go, brother. I appreciate
Rich.
your time.
That was awesome.
Dude.
Welcome back to Michigan.
Hey, man, it seemed, well, I guess you were just here on Friday as well.
Yeah.
Have a great broadcast on
We'll see you in the
Thursday.
tent.
Yeah, we'll see you pretty much.
In the tent and around town here. And
Good to
guys,
see
enjoy your draft.
The one and
Great
only
job,
Adam
Adam.
Schefter here
Have
on the
fun.
Rich Eisen Show. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.